Hello everyone, and this is the second stream, and hopefully, today we won't get any of those problems that happened last day, and we will be again restarting from where we left off in the first stream. So we'll be covering. We will be covering two topics in this stream. Firstly, a very simple player animation controller, and secondly, we will be loading the tile maps. Now, since yeah, yeah, now since it is just remove these things. Why did I have that? Yeah. Now, since the player animation controller is like pretty simple to implement, so that's what we will do first. Uh, Now in the entity class, we will add in a public enum called current animation, and now for now it will contain two animation states, that is idle and please wait. What did I do wrong? Um, oh, sorry, that will not be a capital. Public enum current animation, yeah, and that will have two states. One is idle and another will be run. Like, this is for now. Later we will be adding jump, attack, etc, etc. So now in the player.cs class, um, we will add a new variable called player animation. Oh, player animation controller, and by default it will be set to uh, the animation controller equals to current animation dot idle. This will be by default, and while the player is moving, we will set this to run animation, run, and run. And now in the draw method, we will add in a switch case statement. Switch player animation controller, and it will have a case idle, and animation.draw. And now we will need to make some changes in this the animation one. First of all, we will need to change it to an array, and this will be a run sprite and another texture 2D idle sprite. And we'll just set them like this for now. A new animation idle sprite. Oh, please wait. This is a much better way to do it. Animation 1 equals to new animation run sprite. So this is a much better way, and now all we need to do is just remove this and place it in here and change this to 0. Yeah, 0, and paste it here and place it to 1. And then in here we will need to pass in the idle animation, idle sprite sheet. So we can just directly load it in the call here. Content.load, copy it here. Yeah, then just get the path, remove the semicolons. Slash this and this and then extra, yeah, and don't forget to close that. So I think that should be all for our animation controller. Let's see if this runs. Oh wait, it's flipped for some reason. Why is it flipped? What did I pass in? 0 is the idle, 1 is the run. Huh. Load. Oh, this is flipped. We'll just get rid of that and insert it in front. Move the comma, and that should run properly now, I think. Yeah, so our player runs when we are pressing the A and D key, and stops normally and plays the idle animation at the other times. So that should be all for our play animation controller. And next we will work, actually that was pretty easy. So next we will work on the on loading the tile maps. Now I usually use tile start, so I will just copy up the library from one of my other projects and just paste it here. Let's just check if everything's run correctly. Yeah, so there are no errors. Oh, we don't have a tile map, so maybe as well work. Maybe as well make a tile map. Hello, Kevin. Niven, how do I pronounce your name? So we'll just make a new tile map. New map 32. I think those are 16. 16 and 16. Let's make the map a bit small. 64 and 64 should be enough for now. And save it. Yeah. Maybe to level1.tmx. Yeah. Now let's load up our tile set, which is in the cave tile set, and I have already made a full tile set so that we don't need to deal with loading multiple tile sets, as that tends to cause problems. Background, make it a randomized. Load it up here, and then that should be our background for now. We'll see that lower empty bits later, and make a new tile layer called platforms, which, well, as the name says, will be our platforms. Let's just make a real simple platform real quick. We will be improving this level later. Some cliffs and more cliffs. Yeah, and some floating platforms maybe up here. Looks good. Floating platform. Might as well fill these up. Oh, smaller floating platforms. And that should do it for now. Like, we have a very basic level which will just load to see if everything works properly. Let's just add it to the pipeline. Existing item 1, set it to copy. Let's just build this one more. Yeah, so everything has succeeded. Now it's time for loading our tile map. So make a new file called the tile map manager. Manager.cs. Yeah, set it to public, and it will have a constructor tile map manager and a draw method. One draw method. Yeah. I will actually need to look at my other project, what I did there. Loading tile maps are actually a bit confusing to me as well. So TMX. Yeah, I'll just copy of this. And we will worry about other this later. Let's just import everything. Frame. Tile sharp, and this will be a small m. Yeah. So this should work. Actually, I might as well get rid of this sprite batch. It has no need here. And just add it here. Sprite batch. Call sprite batch. Yeah, that's much better. So now in here Let's just quickly define the regions so that we don't get confused later on. And region player, all the player variables and constants will be inside this one, and another region for tile map and region. And as the name says, it will have all the tile map variables. So set a new TMX map private using tile chart and a private TMX map called map, and private tile map manager tile set, and this will be covering later in another stream dealing with the collisions. So for now there will be then another tile map manager called tile map manager and a tile set. It's a 2D tile set. Yeah, so that should be all of the variables. Now inside the load content, we will again define regions for the players, player, and an end region. Now what did I do here? So I loaded the map by specifying a new TMX object, and then loaded the tile set from the map. Then I took the tile width, height, and the width of the tiles. Then I called the new object, and that is all. And then here I think I called the draw function, player jump, manager.draw. Okay. So first of all, let's just create a new TMX map, set it to content, TMX. Now in tiles width, I think, yeah. Tiles yeah, since we have like only one tile set, so we will just set it to 0 dot dot tile width, and tile height will be map dot sets 0 dot tile height, and int tile set width, which will be I think the map the tile set width by the tile width. Okay, tile width. Now let's create a new Tilemap manager object. Manager, and we will pass in a map, then the tile set, the uh, the tile set tiles D and a D, and tile width and a tile height. So that should be all. And now we'll just go into the draw function and call the tilemap manager.draw and pass in the sprite batch. So that should be all, and hopefully now our tile set will load onto the screen. Nah, tile set was null. Oh, I forgot to load the tile set. So tile set is to content dot load texture 2D stuff. Yeah. Texture 2D. What did I do there? Map tile set 0.name.toString. Okay. Tile set. Cape tile set slash to string. So that should be all. Yeah. Now our player loads onto the screen. So I guess that's all for this stream. Maybe we will do that. We will handle the collisions in the next stream. And thank you everyone for watching this stream. And